Sean todos muy bienvenidos, amigos, a una nueva edición del stream del NBA Store aquí en la Argentina. Tenemos un invitado muy, pero muy especial porque llega directamente desde los Estados Unidos, más específicamente desde Miami, Florida. Roger Mason Jr., how you doing, man? All good?
Doing good, man. All good.
What brings you to Argentina? It's your first time here.
First time here. I've had a couple teammates that are from Argentina.
I know.
Manu Ginobili, Fabricio, Alberto. They've been telling me about this place for a while, so I was excited to come and check out this new NBA store.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Beautiful, beautiful. They did a great job. They got a little basketball court over there, so I'm gonna go check that out in a little bit.
A little bit bigger than the Fifth Avenue one.
Yeah, I mean the Fifth Avenue one is big, but this one is big.
Yeah,
you know, it's even bigger.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean that one's in the middle of Manhattan. So.
It's pretty good. And here to the MBPA.
Yes, used to be the deputy executive director of the Players Association, so it was great, helping out all the players, and I enjoyed doing that.
I told you about that because you've been retired for a couple of years now. You told me what you are doing nowadays, but tell all the people what you're doing nowadays.
Yeah, no, I run a company called Vaunt, and we create, alternative sports competitions with former athletes. So former NBA players, creating really cool 3-on-3, 5-on-5, 1-on-1 matches around the country. So we're excited about building that out.
Yeah, for sure. You had a long career in the NBA. You played for several teams. Which city or team felt most like home for you, besides Washington, obviously?
Right. Honestly, my best time in the league were with the San Antonio Spurs. Just the culture, Coach Popovich, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Manu, those guys were amazing. Champions. So having a chance to play in San Antonio, and there's no other sports teams there.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like a real basketball town. But I would say that was my favorite moments.
I mean, I talked to Manu yesterday. The first memory that came to his mind was your game winner against Phoenix on Christmas Eve on 2008. You remember that?
I remember that.
Hell of a shot.
No, it was, and Manu's the best. I just sent him a message before I got here, but that was a special moment because Christmas Day in the NBA is one of the biggest days of the NBA season, and I had been benched actually in the fourth quarter. Like Pop didn't play me for the fourth quarter, and then Grant Hill scored a layup to put them up by 2, and in the last minute he put me in the game after I was sitting the whole fourth quarter.
All cold
and everything. But he had the confidence, and my teammates had the confidence. Tony Parker made that pass, and it's a shot that every Christmas they play it. So it's pretty cool.
How was playing with Manu? What player does he remind me?
Manu, I always say he played basketball like a soccer player.
Okay.
Like he was just so unorthodox, left-handed, but the way he moved, it was like he was playing soccer on the basketball court. So it was like sometimes he's ice skating. He was just a very different movement player, and nobody could guard him.
Yeah, for sure. That Euro step was killer.
The Euro step, he really made that a thing. Him and Tony both made that Euro step something in the NBA.
Did you expect Manu going up till his 40s playing?
Yeah, that guy, he works so hard. He's got a love for the game. So I figured, he could play as long as he wanted to.
You talked a little bit about Fabricio Alberto, also a friend of mine. You share locker with him. And I talked to him, and the one thing that also Manu said, that's you were the ultimate professional. Always on time, always right, always on the trainings. And he did share some good trips with you. You talked a lot. Talk me about that culture in the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
That's different, I think, from anything else in the NBA.
100%. I mean, I played for 7 different teams.
Yeah.
So I saw 7 different cultures. But San Antonio was special. It's obviously they're champions. They work hard. They understand priorities. But the personal side, the human side, all kind of like-minded type of people. And Fabricio was one of my best friends on the team. You know, we spent a lot of time together. He got me open every time. He gave me the best passes for me to make my shots. And just off the court, he's a big teddy bear, just a great guy. So I think, you know, Coach Popovich and R.C. Buford, they did a good job of not just picking players that are good on the basketball court, but they also think about how are they off the court, right? What kind of family people are they? What kind of character do they have? You know, are they Spurs culture? And you really got to see that.
I mean, you had quite a career, but I think there are some moments in your life that shaped you to become the person you are, but the player you were on that time. Because you played for the Toronto Raptors, you played with Vince Carter, and then you went overseas. Mm-hmm. Obviously, one of the things that everybody thinks, not being an NBA player, is a downgrade for a player of your career. But Olympiacos and Hapoel Jerusalem were competitive on that time, or not?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, it was a great opportunity. It's all with your mindset, right? So I came into the NBA with a shoulder injury. I dislocated my shoulder. Actually, I dunked on Juwan Howard at Michael Jordan's gym, and my shoulder came out, and I had to get surgery. And so I missed the first 70 games of my career. Second year, when I'm healthy, Jerry Krause, who drafted me, he gets fired.
Yep.
So sometimes that's how it works. The new GM comes in, they traded me. And so now I had a new opportunity in Toronto. It didn't work out there. And I just needed to play. I needed the ball back in my hands.
And confidence.
I needed to get my confidence back. And so I went to Olympiacos in Athens, and it was a great experience. I loved it so much that, when Hapoel Jerusalem reached out to me about coming to Israel and playing for a year, I was all about it because I said, you know what, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get better every day. Mm-hmm. I'm going to treat it like I'm at camp. And I was able to do that and get back to the NBA for another 8 years after that.
Yeah, for sure. Every former NBA player that plays overseas and then comes back, which is pretty difficult, calls playing in Europe like a mind-blowing experience because it's like sharpens their mind. It opens up their mind. Do you think the same?
It was life-changing for me, 100%. Playing in the EuroLeague, going to Russia, going to Italy, playing in all these different countries, playing in Israel, 100%. It opens up your mind. It's much more intense than people think. The fans are crazy. They're born as fans. So it was a great experience for me. And I know Manu and Tim, Tony, those guys, they're used to that, right? Mm-hmm. Manu, before he came to the NBA, he had a great career over in Italy and even starting out here. So it really can prepare you to excel in the NBA. You
had a career that you played with almost in every team with Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. But let's talk about the San Antonio Spurs that you came in right now. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu. You talked about Tony. You talked about Manu. What about Tim Duncan as a player and as a teammate?
I mean, he's my top two teammate, top two player that I've played with. Like you said, I mean, I've played with a lot of Hall of Famers. I've been very fortunate that way. Played with, obviously LeBron James, Vince Carter.
That's also top one?
So LeBron and Tim Duncan, to me, are the top two players. I mean, obviously, I think LeBron, is probably one of the, if not the best player of all time. I think Michael Jordan, LeBron right there.
Yep.
But those guys as teammates, that's even more special, right? Tim Duncan was a great leader. He wasn't a guy that was going to shout and scream, but he was going to show you with his work, what it takes to be a champion. He actually taught me how to play